Um, but all in all, yeah, I think, can we agree best match of the night?
Yeah, if you can call it a match.
We're calling every segment, I guess, here a match.
Yeah.
Not a
There
traditional
was
match, but
actual
there are a few
fighting in
traditional
this one.
matches. There was
Mm.
not so much wrestling, but actual fighting.
Yeah, just punching. That's another thing I liked is Undertaker didn't have to do anything major. He just got to punch a lot and drag people, and
Yep.
yeah, it was good.
So for the first night, Paystee, I ranked it a C plus. That was what it got from me. That's what it's getting. I debated I was gonna bump it up more, and then I was like, do I bring it down? It's like with all the stuff going on, I don't know. It probably deserves better because the wrestlers were in a shit. Everybody was in a shit predicament. Nobody's ever had to deal with this before, ever. But that was how much I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a C plus.
If you're gonna go a C plus, I think I'm gonna go a C minus because I by far like the second night better.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And I think a C grade is still more than it deserves, but I don't know because I was feeling kind of negative about the whole thing for the most part. At the end of night one, I said I wasn't watching night two until night two started, and I'm like, okay, if they didn't do the Firefly Funhouse, I probably wouldn't have tuned in. That's
right.
what I wanted to watch it for, and I knew that was going to be situated right towards the end, if not at the end.
So, let's get right into it, Paystee. Night two, we had the same cold open. Nothing special, nothing to be unique.
Mm-hmm.
No reason to make you feel like you should have watched it so far.
Liv Morgan defeated Natalya on the pre-show, which I did tune out on the second night because I watched it the first night, and I'm not going to watch two pre-shows in one weekend.
No, I didn't watch it. I have no idea what happened. Other than Liv Morgan won.
Yeah, I don't know why or how.
You don't care?
No, not at all.
But we opened it up with another women's match, and we had the NXT Women's Championship. It's kind of cool to see the NXT Women's Championship defended on Wrestlemania. I marked out for that a little bit.
Yeah.
But we seen Charlotte Flair, an established WWE main carder, defeat Rhea Ripley by submission, nonetheless.
Made her tap out like a bitch on Charlotte's knee. She didn't even tap the mat. She tapped her knee. I was like, the ref can't even call that a tap out, right? Because usually you're allowed to, hit, 2 times? I don't know.
No, people tap out on them. The tap out first started, legitimately, the tap out started with Taz, as far as I think I know of, with the Taz mission, and he put you in a way that you were choked out, so you couldn't give up, and people would tap his arm, and yeah, people have tapped body parts, I think, a lot of times.
Yeah.
But she looked like a bitch, I'm not gonna lie.
She did, and to me that overshadowed the whole rest of the match. I think Charlotte was winning most of the time, and
she was.
It was a callback to the first night when fucking Becky Lynch made a bitch out of Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know what the whole thing is. And I believe, didn't Rhea Ripley, didn't she break Shayna Baszler's undefeated streak?
Yeah. Rhea's the one who took out Baszler.
Yeah,
took
so
the championship from her and everything.
Yeah, so you have badass Baszler, and then she gets beat by Becky Lynch. Then you have the woman who beat her badass Baszler's undefeated streak, and she gets beat by Charlotte. What the fuck is Charlotte doing going to NXT? We don't need her in NXT. We don't want her in NXT.
Apparently they need star power to take on AEW. That's what I had heard. I don't know why they're worried about it. Right,
I was going to say, not like they're fucking losing to them or nothing. Fuck.
Well, NXT hasn't beat them in the ratings at all in 2020.
Well, I know, but AEW hasn't come close to SmackDown or Raw either, right, so it's like, what are they worried about?
Yeah.
Hello. And it's not like they're always close. It's always within a little bit of a grasp. It's like, I don't know. I think it's stupid. They have no reason to worry about AEW for their C-tier show. That's dumb.
And so are you going to put Andrade back on NXT too, or are you splitting the couple up now? Like, they've been real good about trying to keep couples together. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's...
Dude, and the worst part is, this was actually a good match.
Yeah.
One of the better Flair matches I've seen for a long time.
Yeah, the aggression was definitely there.
So it wasn't a horrible match, but again, the outcome was wrong, and I think this one started the show off on a sour note. I don't think this was a good way to start it.
I didn't pay attention to the next match. I kind of paid attention to the one after that.
I actually did pay attention to the next. I'm the opposite. Complete. So I'll talk about this match. You talk about the next match.
All right.
I watched Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley because the two are both amazing talents and could be the future of this industry if somebody gave them a chance.
Hey, fun fact. Bobby Lashley came down with COVID, beat it just days before they recorded this match.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
With that being said, this was a typical TV match. I would hope Aleister Black would have done more and had more at WrestleMania. He did score the pinfall or the win at WrestleMania, and I hoped for that, but this was very unspectacular. I gave it a C+. I was not... Two guys that could have done great things both phoned it in. Again, I think maybe just because there isn't a crowd. That can't help, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after the women's match, actually looking back at this card, I kind of tuned out on everything except for Edge Orton, which I did tune out on because I thought it was good.
Yeah, that shows how much you tuned out on that.
And then I tuned back in for the last three.
You fucking sold me on that, too, before I watched it, you little bastard. So get into the Otis Ziggler match, which I wasn't even interested in at all.
Well, there's actually this is one of the few matches that has a decent storyline with it, with Otis and Mandy Rose potentially linking up before Valentine's Day, and then Dolph Ziggler and Sonya Deville plotting against Otis to hook Ziggler up with Mandy to protect everybody, and then everything got blown out of proportion, and Mandy found out, and Otis is pissed, and led to this match at WrestleMania where Otis just kind of destroyed Dolph Ziggler for the most part.
Wow.
It was, I don't have a whole lot to say here, but the story is good, and the story is still ongoing, and now Otis has his Mandy Rose, and...
Whatever happened to Tucker? Is he
Tucker's
injured?
Still, no, he's still around. He's been Otis's wingman through this story. He's been defending Otis. He's been backing him up. You know, Dolph Ziggler has Bobby Roode, so he's had to take care of him there. And then this week, I didn't watch it, but I heard about it. Tucker came out and had a great match against Dolph Ziggler, fighting stiff, looking strong. Ziggler won with a super kick. But, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I like it. I just like Otis as a character, dude. He is wrestling's Chris Farley.
I just feel like it's two people that WWE doesn't want to get over the mid card. Like they're never even going to be top mid card guys.
No, but they got the comedy edge going for them already, which is a good thing.
There you go. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Then we went on to the longest fucking last man standing match in the world. Edge defeating Randy Orton. And Paystee, I did a little bit of research because I had plenty of fucking time to do it.
Man wheezing, not last man standing.
This is the second longest match in WrestleMania history, right after the 6 minute and 40-second Iron Man match between Brett and Shawn. This is the second longest match in WrestleMania history.
Yeah, that's crazy. See, and at first I wanted to defend it, saying, Edge has been gone for 9 years. He wanted to come back and prove he could still go at that level.
Yeah,
no. But they definitely didn't do much going in this match.
They didn't. They should have easily cut, and this is being generous, 15 minutes. 15 minutes easily.
This was pre-taped and edited, and they didn't cut out more?
And this is the one that really, to me, stood out for the editing. Yeah. There's one point, I didn't timestamp it, but I actually went back and showed it to my son when we were watching. And there is one point where Randy Orton is beating up Edge, and then he drags him into another section or area or room or whatever. And after he's done punching him and he's dragging him by his hair, like standing up, just walking him, he's like beat red and just, and then he walks through the door and he's like pale white and he's more sweaty, quote unquote. And I'm like, oh my God, they fucking took a half-hour break and got something to eat, took a bathroom break and showered and then came back and he just dumped some water out. I was like, that's obviously a cut. There was no way. And first of all, Edge just came back. I don't know because I haven't watching, but if this isn't his first match back, it's his second or third.
His first match back was the Royal Rumble. And then
so this is like his second or third.
Yeah, then after that, it was Orton attacked him twice and put him out until WrestleMania.
So obviously he isn't ready for a fucking half-hour match. You just can't be.
No.
And Orton, he can come through when you got a big match. He can come through and give you a solid match. But again, he's not somebody that's going to give you an entertaining half-hour match.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't remember a lot of this because it was just copy-paste, just in different settings. Paystee, do you want to address the elephant in the room this time?
You mean the Benoit spot?
Yes, the Benoit spot.
Yeah, it was Randy Orton. They're fighting around the Performance Center. And what does the Performance Center have? A lot of gym equipment. So they made their way back by the gym equipment and went to the lat pull-downs machine where Orton shoved Edge's arm and neck into the belt and raised it up, trying to strangle him, much like how we just found out on the Dark Side of Wrestling, if you didn't know beforehand. Benoit killed himself after he murdered his wife and son.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Dark Side of Wrestling. Anybody who hasn't watched that, go watch the New Jack one.
Yep.
If you don't watch any other fucking one, watch the New Jack one.
Yeah, and New Jack is up on YouTube now, too. They did both parts of that.
Oh, is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Really?
Both parts of Benoit were on YouTube. The New
wow.
Jack one's on YouTube. There's the most recent one isn't there yet, but I'm assuming it might be up in a week.
Cool beat. That's the Brawl for All is the newest one.
Yeah, I'm not interested in watching that.
Oh, you're going to want to watch that.
Other than the news that Vince originally wanted NXT to be like Brawl for All, which is amazing.
You're really going to want to watch that. But the New Jack one is, the Benoit one, like you said, I mean, pretty much everybody knew all of this stuff. It was cool to see the actual people react to it live, but it's all just rehashed stuff. Oh, the New Jack one, I knew 50% of it, but the other, and not even stuff I didn't know, just the way New Jack, they literally interview New Jack and how nonchalant he is with everything. I'm just like, wow. He really just does. Yeah, that old man, he wasn't selling for me. I didn't give a fuck. I just started stabbing the fucker. I think I stabbed him 13 times, he says. I was like, holy shit, motherfucker.
Yep.
You know you're on camera, right? God damn. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, if we're going to talk about it, I just want to say one thing, and that's during the Benoit thing, where Chris Jericho is narrating the whole thing. And then he said after Eddie died, that was like when he stopped talking to Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
So then why did he narrate the whole second episode? If you had nothing to do with that, then...
Oh, because it was just a talent to do it. I mean, they just have wrestlers narrate each one.
Yeah.
So that's why.
I thought that was funny. And that was when we stopped being friends. But I'm going to tell you the rest of the story next week.
I love Jericho and he's super talented, but he will also do anything for a buck. And that's not a bad thing. He's a businessman at heart. That's his first and foremost. He's a businessman. He'll do anything for a buck.
And I don't believe it's because Vice did the documentary. I think it's because Jericho did the narration is why they did this spot in this match. They don't want to give that to AEW. That's a WWE thing.
See, I honestly hope, I like to feel in my heart that Edge and Orton didn't even think about it and just kind of in the heat of the moment, they seen something over there and did it and weren't thinking. Still, shame on the editors for keeping it editing.
That's like the key thing here.
if it wasn't that, if it was a pre-planned spot, shame on the agents, shame on Vince, shame on both Edge and Orton. Like everybody, there was 20 people that should have threw a flag on this before it ever got to air.
Yeah.
So even if nobody else knew about it and it was a spur of the moment thing, it easily could have been edited out. So
other than it was like the one interesting thing in the match.
It's a bad match. Let's just say it's a bad match.
Yeah. I feel bad for telling you it was good, but
It's a bad match.
I just noted like it was on, and then I wasn't paying attention, and then it was still on, and I'm like, holy shit, they've been going for a while. And then when I did pay attention, they were just breathing a lot on that truck, and I'm like, okay.
I know there was one point I just looked over and I was talking to somebody and I was